what are your thoughts of its effect on people and people in business?
Yeah, crazy. And yeah, just insane. And it's very difficult in that there's two, ScoMo always talks about this, and I feel like the treasurer Frydenberg really understands this.
Mm-hmm.
There's two impacts of COVID, health impact, but there's also an economic impact.
Yeah.
And it's quick, people are quick to say, we should put our health first, and health is all that matters. And even to save one life, we should spend endless amounts of money and whatever. But the reality is, without a strong, vibrant economy, without people employing others, without goods and services moving throughout your society, you have no society.
Mm-hmm.
Someone has to pay the medical bills. Someone has to pay that to keep someone in a job. And so we need to balance both worlds. And at the start, I think we did a good job of, especially Gladys even did a really good job of trying to keep the business world open, trying to keep the economy open. But of late, it's been, crushing. How can you, let's say a business turns over $1 million a year, on a normal basis, and then you have a COVID and your expenses don't go down. Your expenses, a lot of them remain. You still got to pay your landlord. You can negotiate with all of these, but it's inevitable. You still got to pay your rent. Your staff are still got to get paid. Your overheads are still getting paid. All your suppliers are still getting paid, and this affects the whole supply chain. So, in some, the impact has been off the charts. I've never seen anything like it. I probably will see nothing like it in future. It's extremely detrimental, but let's hope it's all over soon. The government has done a job, in providing us with stimulus, but at the end of the day, you can't keep printing money. You need to turn the economy on. You need to get people out there employed, spending money and living their life, and feeding their family and providing for their community. So it's been very detrimental. Everyone felt it, and I can't. It's very difficult to explain. It's easy for me to sit behind a laptop, punch in numbers, and my job is relatively unaffected. I can't imagine what a business is going through there on the grassroots, telling their employees to go get Centrelink, and there's people earning a lot of money that are no longer earning a lot of money and are in Centrelink queues.
Yeah,
it's nuts. So
and the crazy part for me, seeing that impact. I mean, thank God I still have a job. I'm still fine.
For sure.
But I can't imagine what another business is going through, or what a barber's going through, a hairdresser.
Exactly.
You haven't been working for 3 months.
100%. And
yeah.
And these are productive people. All humans, we're designed to be very productive people. We're hunter-gatherers at heart. And so it's not just the financial impact, it's taking away someone's ability to go out and to provide and to feed and to provide value and to collaborate, and it's all those things. How bored do you feel? After one day of not working, you're like, okay, I've got to get back to work. We all think we want an extended holiday, and then we get the extended holiday. We realize we really don't want to. It's in our nature to work. So that's what it also takes away, which is hard. But sorry, go on.
Which is what hits into that mental health side of things. Stat and I talk about it every week on Have a Chat about how the mental effects of this, it's killing people.
Yeah, totally agree.
And that's why the numbers for suicide are so high. That's why the calls to Headspace and Beyond Blue are so extravagant right now. And that's because people are losing their will to, work and live. They can't.
100%.
They can't do what they're meant to do. But on a grander scheme, a grander level, I think everyone understands the personal effects that it's having on them and their families. How does Australia get out of this? How do we, in a year's time, 2 years' time, what's the effects post-COVID?
So, look, coming into COVID, Australia was pretty healthy from a financial perspective. Yeah, there's something you have to understand about Australia. We're very naturally endowed, so we have a really good, reserves of minerals and things we can sell off to other countries. We have a small population at 27 million for the land mass we have. That's ridiculously small, and we push out $1 trillion in GDP. So we came in really, really strong, and we were, our budget, I'm sure you saw the Back in Black from, Frydenberg and our Prime Minister. We came into COVID looking really strong. So when COVID happened, we could, turn on the printers a little bit, get some money out to people that needed it. And we got through up until now. Yes, it's been horrendous, but we've always bounced back really, really well. So whilst we've taken a hit now we're in more debt than we've ever been, and that will flow onto our future generation. Someone has to pay that debt, and you can either pay that through taxes or inflation, right? Someone has to pay the money we just printed. But hopefully, we're really hoping that when things open up again and it goes back to normal, people are cashed up, like people have money. The government have been handing out money. It would have been detrimental if someone sitting at home with no money, obviously not going to spend it. But the government's been handing out money, and when government money comes out, government money is easier to spend than your own hard-earned money, let me tell you.
Yeah,
so hopefully what we're hoping for, and we saw this in the first lockdown, is that when we open up, we have that V-shaped sort of recovery we all talk about, and we get through, and eventually, hopefully, we pay off the debt and we come out well. Australia hasn't been too bad. A lot of other countries have done a lot worse, but time will tell. Hopefully, one, we get a V-shaped recovery, and then two, we have a stable period where we can start to repay our debt that we wrapped up during.
I just think that's part of the conversation that people aren't really having or talking about, and this isn't downplaying or downgrading the importance of people's health and what people are going through with this disease. This disease is tough. It's tough to have. It's not an easy one to get through. But there is another side of it that a lot of people aren't considering. It's so easy to tell people stay at home, don't do anything.
Yeah.
But what effect does that have on not just us, but the future generations?
100%. And a lot of people think like Australia is this rich utopia and we'll never run out of money and everything like that. But I can assure you, if you look at Venezuela, if you look at Cuba, there are countries that overdo their spending. There is no country that's ever survived by sitting down and paying its citizens to do absolutely nothing. The best societies function when people are creating, when they're innovating, when they're working hard, when they're providing for their families. Everyone's winning, everyone's happy. You have a good, functioning, healthy society. It's beautiful. There's nothing like that. And the sooner we get back to that, the better it is. We can't just keep printing money and paying people to stay at home. It's not possible. It heads down a horrific trail. We need to get back to business, which hopefully we will shortly.